Away loopers, it's the NSK here. You know, we bring you episodes where we have thought-provoking conversations with superstars or not so popular people at the time. Or either way, this is what we do. Thank you so much for choosing us today again. And today's episode is going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible for a couple of reasons. Now, this gentleman that we're going to talk to today is someone that has been on the podcast before. As a matter of fact, he's been on the podcast twice before. This is a gentleman that at the time, when we first spoke to him, we didn't exactly know what was happening in his heart. We spoke about everything else, but we didn't quite understand his circumstances until he said, listen, NSK, listen, a New Era team, listen, Industry Loop team, let me show you the reality of where I'm at. I'm smiling here, but deep down, I'm hurting, and I'm literally physically hurting. And he opened his home to us, and we went to his home, and we were exposed to the reality that was the case then. I'm saying then because the reality has changed. But before we speak about this man, before we speak to this gentleman, understand what happened from that last conversation to now, let's quickly give you that bit of a recap of the last episode. And like we always say, it's always dramatic on Industry Loop. Have a look. This retirement thing that you're talking though.
Yeah.
Got me stressed, bruh.
It's
you got me stressed, bruh.
It's all right. It will make sense.
Is it now family shenanigans? Is it like you want to focus, just you want to, work on like the other side of the career, family? Talk to us about this break, retire.
Not even. It was my third studio album.
Yeah.
A very significant number to me. A very, very lovely project that I personally enjoyed making. But it's been 18 years. So you spoke about NAMTV time till now. It's been so long.
Before NAMTV, because remember 2010, 11, I heard a rumor of his girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was in high school, y'all.
Yeah.
Now I'm married with a child and a husband and everything, and a professional woman. I just wanna have a look at it from a different perspective.
Oh, yeah.
That's all. Yeah, I'll never stop creating, but I also think that in order for you to give that the best that you can, it's always good to like sit back, look at it, and be like, how can I make it better? How can I analyze this and really make it better? So I think that's the majority of where I am right now. No one could comment under a video and retire me. Never.
Yeah, always.
It's a personal thing that I decided to take on, and maybe not. Like I'll see how it goes.
Thank you so much for being with us. You saw what Lioness just said. She said she's retiring. I tried to convince her not to, but after she completed her tour, not in this live tour and at the Loft, she did confirm once again that was her last. She wants to be a wife now. She wants to be a mother. She wants to be a queen to her husband. Rightfully so. Happy retirement, Lioness. Maybe, just maybe, we will still see you back sometime. Because, that music bug, it bites. You never heal from it. But enjoy your time off. All right. Now, don't forget that I did mention earlier that we will speak to a gentleman whose story inspired the whole country. He was on the podcast twice, and he was brave enough. He was man enough, vulnerable enough to say, come and look at my reality. And it's funny that we are having, or that I'm mentioning this, because it's Men's Mental Health Month, the month of June, isn't it? So we will understand where he is right now mentally. We will understand what that episode did for him, the second one where he was vulnerable, whether they were negatives or positives. And we will understand the future. What does the future look like? It should be exciting for Dr. Mavovo, aka the Doctor of Sound, aka Mr. Elvo. Oh, miss? Welcome back to the podcast, bro.
No. It's great to be here.
Third time lucky, bro.
Yeah. It should be been
That's it.
now.
Man, it's good to see you, bro. You look good now. You look fantastic, bro.
Thank you.
That's it. Man, I mean, the last time we spoke was about like a year.
Yeah.
I mean, on screen now was about like a year and a half or so ago. And that podcast where you were vulnerable, you opened up, you showed us your reality, with the family that you had, and you were vulnerable. You opened up.
Yeah.
I think the first question that I need to ask you, and I think this is on everyone's mind, is we on our hand, on this side, you know, the podcast technical crew, we were getting calls, texts, you know, emails, even for that matter, trying to get hold of you and so on. Was it also the same on your end, bro? Did people try and get hold of you? Did some of that outpouring eventually reach you, bro?
Yeah. There was a lot of people called me. A lot of people text. Social media was crazy. People was looking for answers and stuff like that. But at that very moment, it was a healing process for me. And you know, when you go through a period in your life, you can't associate with people too much, or associate with what you're going through then, or anything to do with work. So I had to be silent. I actually moved out of the whole window. I wasn't even here. Yeah, so I was totally out of this place.
So the attention that came with it was a bit too much for you at the time.
Yeah.
Because you were also healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, the people that were calling you,
Yeah.
were they helping you? Were they saying, look, there's an opportunity here, or come record my album, or here's some funds, at least for toiletries for now, for you and the family? Was it actual help, tangible help? Was it manete mon prat?
No, let me. Okay, I know from the last time we spoke, me myself, and the family I was in. I don't want to go too much deep into it, but I will be as clear as possible that I am out of that. First of all, out of that scenario. I'm no more in Ochimisa as we talk about Astalan. I'm not there. I moved away. I came to my family, my own family, my sister,
family house,
my family house, which is in Rebot. I went there. That is where I went. So the scenario where I was in, and I talked to you guys about, at the same time when I talked to you about what is happening to me, and I know I did mention about the industry, the music industry, but put that aside. I will come back to that now.
Yeah.
Talking about my personal scenario is that at the same time I also went through there was mental abuse, there was I went through difficult times personally also at the same time.
That was literally after that episode.
It was during that.
Even during that.
I was facing that, you understand, where I was literally trying to get my way out. So there was a lot of things were totally in place. I didn't talk about that then. I know I just focused, my mind was just focused talking about the music industry, and things are not working okay for me. But I'm sitting here, I think this is also one of the reasons why I'm sitting here. Firstly, myself, I would like to apologize to the musicians and artists or any music industry related person. If I did mention that the music industry didn't do anything for me, didn't care, I want to apologize first, publicly, to that. You understand? I want to apologize if I maybe mention something harsh, because sometimes you can say something when you are in a depression mode. Because I was literally in a very, very deep depression mode. But at the same time also, because my depression was so high, And at that very moment, there was nobody around me. Like, for instance, you know, when you are a person that have been in the industry for a long time and you have been working with so many people and you don't see people around you, you understand? That burst out comes a bit, you know. I'm the type of person, you know, I don't hide things. I will tell you straight, but maybe it might sometimes come out too harsh. When I said, yeah, there's nobody here, nobody's helping you, you know, I will say that. So I will also, at the same time right now, I will apologize for that. If it's any industry person, whether it's doing the music industry, if you're an artist or what, or if you're a music promoter or I've worked with you, let me apologize if I did say this music industry people are not there, they don't care. I will apologize for my side publicly for that. But I'm not apologizing for what I went through. I did went through a depression. I went through deep depression, so I suffered two things at the same time, you understand? I went through a personal depression with the recent family I was in, since I went through emotional abuse and all that with those people, and at the same time, I had to struggle my own way out, how to get my music production running at the same time. But there was not so much help. Yes, there wasn't. But it is wrong for me to just blame others. You understand? Sometimes you have to, if you go through something, you have to handle the things yourself. So that's why I'm sitting here apologizing.
Do you feel that you were victimized by the industry when you said that you didn't exactly say that, Elvo,
Yeah.
just FYI.
Yeah,
You may have alluded to the fact that, well, for years you've been producing hits and now there's no one that wants to. You didn't exactly say no one from the industry cares. I just want to correct you there,
Okay.
but you feel that maybe it may have come across as that. So that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Do you feel that there were certain quarters of the industry that tried to victimize you? After that episode dropped, that felt like, yeah, Jason was, no one helped you, so don't come to me. Like, was there some form of victimization towards you?
No. The only thing, or people started blaming me for not making it in the industry. I know.
People started blaming you.
Yeah, because I don't know how. I got calls like that, and I got people texting on social media like Facebook and all this, you know, end up putting the blame on you, saying, you are the one who messed up your own life. Who said you must drink too much alcohol? Who said you must use drugs? So I'm sitting here and I'm making that clear.
Okay.
That is also one of the reasons I'm sitting here.
Okay.
I'm making that clear.
Yeah.
And for those that maybe did say that, I have never been a drug user. I don't use those things. For those who have been in the studio with me, I don't do those things. You understand? So if something happened to anyone or you went through a difficult time in your that's why the reason why I'm apologizing, because not just the music industry that have happened and you can't make it. Doesn't say the industry wasn't there. It wasn't there. It is true. But I'm just saying there was two things on me. You understand? That break me down.
Yeah.
In the situation I was in, that family at that very moment was breaking me down. And on top also, there was no music industry at that time where I could fall back to the best of the music I did then. I could have must come out and just go back and, you know, I mean, you are an industry player. You have been working with too many people. You can just, you know, talk to people. So that also wasn't there. But why I was sitting here apologizing, I'm not saying it's just only the music industry, but I was going through a depression mode in my
Elvo, I find it astonishing that there are people of the industry, apart from the Facebook comments now. You know, Facebook comments is Facebook comments.
Yeah,
you know, listen, people who don't even know you have an opinion on you. That's the reality. That's the reality of our job. We are public figures.
Yeah.
People will have an opinion of you. You will hear, yeah, Elvo was that one that did what.
They're the same things.
And then you wonder, from the practice means. So Facebook, let's park it one side, okay? What I'm concerned about is certain quarters of the industry calling you at the time that you are clearly down after that episode, and while you are down, they are calling you and telling you, well, it's your own fault.
Yeah, they say that. A lot of people say that. Don't come here crying to us.
But you didn't even go to them. It's not like you called them personally.
Some people
they called you, right? It's not like you called one of the artists or one of the old managers or one of the what, help me. You came on the podcast and you said, look, I'm looking for, and you think that's the other thing also that you kept emphasizing. You didn't ask for money.
No.
You didn't ask for, you were saying, give me work so that I work,
Yeah.
and then you pay me for a service.
Yeah.
So if there's a song that I need to make, an album I need to make, production that I need to make, lecturer that I need to, that I can take advantage of,
True.
I'll give you a service, you pay me for my work. You're not out here asking for charity. So, ik verstaan niet, man. Like, so.
No, it has to do with my past. You see, the problem is...
Old beef now, with
it's
some
old
of these
beef.
people.
People, I don't know. Is it something... I am not saying... it's unfortunately, sometimes you work with people. Let me just make an example. Let's say you work at a company and your colleagues that you work with.
Yeah.
I think it's the kind of same scenario of me.
Yeah.
Same scenario where I'm at. You work with a bunch of colleagues. Those people you work with, and you came out, they know certain things about you.
True.
You know, when you left there, there's certain things they know about you.
Yeah.
So now, you are doing something new. This side, or whatever you're going through, something new. They don't know about this, what you go through.
Yeah.
Now, they are taking that you're going
old-
through and connect it with when you were there. It's like they connected. You see, I know why you're going through. You see, when you were here, it's because they're connecting that. It has nothing to do with the time when I used to produce who and who, why I was saying that. It has nothing to do with that, you understand? Don't connect my past with what I'm going through at the very moment. The problem is, if you're sitting in a very problem now, it's like let me make a scenario,
Yeah.
just make an example, like, let me say, God forbid, when someone feels sick,
Yeah.
you know, and you end up in hospital, you know? Now I must say, it's because, you know, in the past, you know what type of past work you did?
Yeah.
You know,
Instead of healing the person in that
instead
moment,
of healing,
giving
let's
the
look
person
for
medicine,
No,
or
you are
diagnosing.
looking at
Yeah.
what caused. What
Yeah,
is the
I see-
problem?
I see what
Why
you
can't
mean.
we just come together and look for
Yeah.
solutions?
I see what
Why
you
do we always have to look for what caused the thing? We don't look for solutions. We don't wanna stand together and let's just help each other, get the problem fixed,
Yeah.
fix the person, and then we can now. Bro, what happened?
Okay.
What was wrong with
I
you?
see.
Let's
It's because I can see
Yeah.
how annoying it can be.
Yeah.
While you are there at your lowest,
Then
and
you
then
still-
and then someone wants to come and say, yeah, you pass.
Yeah.
I can see it.
That's
I
why
can see it.
left.
I can actually see
so
it.
I left this place and I had to go to a silent place. Do you understand now why I did it?
I understand.
So
I get you now.
couldn't move. I couldn't walk. I didn't want to face those questions. So I left.
And that's why. Okay. So,
a little
because
bit more than a
yeah.
year ago, I left Windhoek totally. My sister came, and she's the one who took me to my mother. Yeah, because I was like in heavy depression. We even had to go to the hospital. I had to get pills, and it was crazy.
But talk to me about, because you I think 3 or 4 times you talk about the family that you were in the past tense. You speak about that family and you said you moved out. You also mentioned emotional abuse, right? And you were married. I'm saying were because you keep on saying
I'm divorced.
you're divorced now.
No, it's totally. I'm not married anymore.
So you have separated from your wife.
Yeah, some time ago, long time ago.
Okay. And it's not because of the episode. It was just because of the reality that was going on.
Yeah, before you guys.
Even before us.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was going through a heavy depression.
Yeah.
The loop industry was just crying out what I was facing already.
Okay. Look, the reason why I value this conversation, Elvo, is because as men, we hardly have this type of conversations in front of the camera.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You know how it is, bro. If I'm depressed, I call you, I said to me, I am Bruce Naxi, let's go have a drink. Then we drink, tomorrow morning, the problem is still there. We drink, tomorrow morning, I'm still feeling the way I felt inside.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And that's why I value this conversation between myself as an important factor of the industry and a public figure, you as a exceptional factor of this industry, sitting here and being honest about it, to say, look, I went through emotional abuse. This was even before that episode. The episode I was literally just crying out, and I eventually had to choose myself.
Yeah.
I had to choose myself. Otherwise, 6 feet under, isn't it?
Example, I have, look, there we have people like, I didn't want to mention that because I know their families.
100%.
I did, so I'm not going to mention names. But there is some big industry players today, they are no more there. And this happens, why some of these people are not with us, is when you keep something in. And I think this also just an advice that I'm giving to others also. If you sit there with a problem, my brother, don't just sit there. Come out and talk. It doesn't make you a fool or make you a coward. You understand? You're helping yourself and you're making yourself stronger. Here I'm sitting, I'm very strong now. Nothing can break me now.
My man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Co-parenting, at least, Obi Swagster, is it working out? Are you guys, you're finding ways around it?
100%.
As a belief, man.
Everything.
Because I mean, whatever happened between the two of you shouldn't necessarily affect the kids most.
No, but I got big kids too. That I've been doing that for 2 years. I've been through that, so it's not I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I got big kids that I've been parenting for years. So
exactly.
It's not new to me.
Yeah. Now, great. You are in Rehoboth now. Okay.
Sorry, no Kanja.
You're in Okanja. You moved
I went to Rehoboth.
Yeah.
And I was staying there the whole time. So we're based in Okanja now for 4 or 5 months. Yeah, but the whole time I was in Rehoboth.
The whole time,
Yeah,
okay.
but we are moving back.
Yeah. Let's talk about Rehoboth now.
Yeah.
Your parents, your family, they welcome you back home.
Yeah.
It's a very, very difficult process. I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking, just even looking at my last one, I was thinking, young, if I flop this Vinduk story, I'm going back to Walvish Bay. Where do I even go? You know what I mean? That the room that I had there is not even there anymore. So, you see what I mean? It's a very, bro, Elvo, we don't talk about these things as homies.
No, yeah.
First, that's the reality. You know, the old friends that you had there, they look at you like, you thought she was a superstar. Hey, you went to Windhoek, no, you are here now, where we are. How was that process, bro, of going back home?
I started from scratch. I left everything there.
Yeah.
I totally left everything. I was not doing music. I didn't produce. I didn't do nothing. I was just totally recovering and going through whatever I went through. At that time, at that very point, I was still at, I have to say thank you to Triple R Studios. I've been there. I haven't maybe mentioned it, but I think now I have the platform to,
of course.
to say thank you to them because they have been there also for me.
This is now since you moved to Rehoboth?
Yeah.
Or just a small period after?
Yeah, that is also one of the ways that I came out because they also helped me a lot. Because when I went through that whole depression time in my life, those are one of the people that is also before the podcast or after the podcast.
Because I remember at the time you didn't necessarily have a permanent job.
It's before the podcast.
Was it before the podcast? They already reached out.
Yeah, those are the people that came to me.
Okay.
So I told you most already went through that before the podcast. So those people already reached out and they already knew I went through something. You understand? And they was trying to get that. But you know, they were the only ones there by that time. And I was still, so to say, you know, sometimes you still don't want to understand what you go through and what you are, and my depression. I didn't want to, as a man, sometimes we have pride.
True. True.
So you still don't. I didn't want to see that in myself that I'm really facing something heavy. But I must say, if it also wasn't for them, because I was stuck there. But just the fact that I could sometimes go away from there and I'm there with them, and we were working together there, together in the studio, and we were just, that at least also was part of my recovery.
Yeah.
It helped me a bit.
Look, sorry to interrupt, I just really want to understand. Did they reach out to you while you're in Rehoboth now when you went, or this is now when you were still in Windhoek?
Yeah, before the podcast.
Even before the podcast. Yeah. Okay, so they were already in the picture. Yeah. Okay, great. So now when you move to Rehoboth, you are recovering now. You are silent. You just want to recover. On your road to your recovery, you kept in contact here and there with them.
No. This podcast is a long time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking now.
Yeah.
This podcast.
I'm talking about Triple R now.
Yeah, Triple R was there before it was after the podcast.
No, it was after.
It was after.
It was after, yeah.
It was after.
Yeah.
I'm totally mistaken. Sorry, man.
Yeah, it was after,
it is a while ago.
Exactly.
Or is it the age?
The age of us, we're not getting any younger.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, no, it is after the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, the podcast was first.
Yeah.
But no, I did know them.
Okay.
But they were not so much involved.
Close, okay, yeah,
But after
yeah.
podcast, they were a little bit more involved.
All right.
Yeah.
So now, at what point does Triple R say, look, we understand you are recovering, but we've got a little setup here. Don't you want to join the team?
Yeah.
Walk me through that. Walk us through that process when they said, look, Elvo, we understand you are recovering, but you also need to put some dollars in your pocket, and we've got a studio. Walk me through that process.
No, they had a studio called Triple R.
Yeah.
Resin Rose Records.
Yeah. So would that be what is it? The old power station.
Old power station.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had that. They started that business. And because it's a business from the ground up, still a baby, business started. So we started together with the business. I was basically one of the first people being there with them while they are still. I was literally in the building while they were still fixing
everything together.
putting everything together. So there was just a start point. So of course it was not. I was not at that same place of how I used to be. You understand? It's just something that take you from the plane A to B. You understand? They couldn't promise me the world. They said, no, we will get you. Everything is, let's push this thing. No, it's also, they're also starting.
Yeah.
And I had to understand, it's just also people that but just the fact that they see me. And, I had to, that's why I took this opportunity to say thank you to the Triple R crew. Triple R crew. So I was there, that process. So we were working there. They didn't really work with clients so much. We are basically mostly working on, it's like more / video and audio type of thing going on there. And then now and then there's some clients that used to come in there, but not so much.
Yeah.
Not like the way I used to work with clients.
Around the clock and so on. Yeah. Okay. So now I understand that you have now Empire Productions now. So from you graduate now from Triple R, which is a startup baby, and big shout out to Osi Rose. She's amazing. I also know the work that she does and her team. You graduate now from Triple R, and you are in Okahanja now.
Yeah, then I moved to Rehoboth.
You moved to Rehoboth?
After that. I went to be quiet for almost a whole year.
Yeah. And then you got that opportunity to Triple R, and then you move now to
Rehoboth for almost a whole year, being quiet, and then in last year now is where the birth of Empire Production
started.
Yeah, that is now the main baby.
Look at your smile. Look at you. He's blushing, this guy.
Because it's big. It's the one.
That's the one now.
It's the one.
Because I was gonna ask you about that. Let's because the thing is, you see, before we even get to Empire, and I'm happy that you've got your own thing now. Do you understand? And that you've got a couple of people helping you with Empire, and we will discuss it now.
Yeah, we are partners, 2 partners running this thing. Yeah.
2 partners now. Okay, we'll give the props now where it's due. One of the debates that I had with other music people in the industry was, does Elvo understand the musical taste of today? Do you understand?
Okay.
Because you produced 20 years ago hits, you produced 15 years ago hits, you have a hit from 10 years ago even for that matter, perhaps even 5 years ago. But today, do you understand the sound today? And I was saying, at the time, look, if the Elvo that I know, and in my personal conversations that I've had with him, he always preaches about learning something new. You said that so many times in our private conversations.
Yeah, that is what I do.
That's literally what you do. You like
one of my hobbies.
You like learning something new. Yeah. What's this new song? What is it done? And so on. Because you're not a one-trick pony, right? But the guys were saying, yeah, but if that's the case, since your podcast, why haven't we seen a hit? I'm like, but maybe it doesn't mean because you haven't seen a hit that the hit does not exist. Maybe you just don't know that the guy produced or contributed to the song. So maybe you can answer that question for us right now, Elvo. Since that podcast with Triple R and going into Empire now, let's park Empire. We'll get there. With Triple R some private projects here and there. Were you working on music? Were you working on artist music? Were you helping maybe even Rose's project with her work? Talk to us about that music, especially her project, the one that she dropped. Were you actively working on that project?
Yes.
On every song?
Yeah, almost, let's say 70% of Rose album.
Ah, come on, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I love that album.
Yeah, I did.
I even wrote about it. It's somewhere.
The other songs is from the late Arafat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say shout out to him.
No, I appreciate that album because
but
I even wrote I wrote about the songs,
the
bro.
whole 70.
Yeah.
Finish.
So and what I was getting from that album is she was yes, her hit song is Madaisam, but she was also exploring her other side, which is the soft, sultry R&B side. And you nailed it. If you were saying you were behind and you put that thing together.
All those R&B, those things.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, the type of Afro feel.
Yes.
It's me producing those things. We did it well.
So we are settling the debate. There's no debate about you do not understand the 2025, 2026 sound. You understand it. You're working actively on it.
Yeah, like I said, my work-wise, is that I understand what is going on here. I still produce. There's even still other work I could just tell you now what I did.
Please
the problem was, it's just that I was not in the media so much, and I was going through personal problems.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't do my hobby. I can't do the work like I'm supposed to do while I'm going through a personal thing. So, but at the same time, when I was, this year I told you when I was in Rebel, being quiet, do you think I was just sitting? When I say recovering, the learning is part of the process.
My man.
Yeah, so I'm busy checking the industry. I'm studying everything.
DrMavovo.
Yeah, I was busy while I'm recovering. I'm checking this sound. I'm going here. I'm also doing that. It's part of my recovery too. Because I knew if I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna come back with something big. I see even something new coming out. Yeah, I might even talk about this now because this song is gonna come out on Thursday. This Thursday, Canucks and Jericho together. I put them on one song. If you think I don't know sound, go listen to the song that comes.
My man. Okay, cool. All right. Let's take a short musical break. We'll grab something from Triple R, something from the album. If we can't grab something from the album, we'll probably just play her hit song. And then we'll be back and then we'll continue with this conversation. We'll continue to the next part, which is the future now. He's talking about there's new music. He's putting two big heads together. We'll talk about it. Stick around, don't go away. Loopers, welcome back. Big shout out once again to Osi Rose, Prime Rose. Allow me to say it right. Congratulations on your 300,000 views on your song Ngome with Osi Chalisa. And again, we just heard how Elvo was just saying how much Triple R helped and how it was part of his healing process. Now we're looking towards the future now. Okay, we are done with the sad stories now. We are done with the, this was the reality. This was the what. Go check foreign to no man. Foreign to. Elvo.
Yeah.
Omes.
Yeah, man.
We are talking about the future now. You went through what you went through.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're still not 100%. No person is 100%. You still have your flashbacks here and there. You're still working on a couple of things. It's an evolving process.
Yes.
But you're looking at the future now.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me about Empire Productions.
Yeah. Empire.
How new is this baby? Is it this year? Last year?
Yeah, I started from last year, late last year. So Empire started like, let's say middle last year somewhere there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So when the birth of that company, it's an idea with me and my partners is Arlene.
And we'll see it now in a small bit. We'll see it now in a small bit. Yeah.
We came up with this. We came up with the Empire, and the goal to this is to see, to make a difference that wasn't there. Like especially we are looking at helping artists at the same time, producers, and then also it's also a training also. So I'm also still teaching, since I'm still a teacher. So Empire is about music production with artists, shows, the whole lot, and training involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have artists right now that you are focusing on?
Yeah.
One of them is sitting right next to you, isn't it? Malibi.
Yeah.
Oh, mas. Ulega me, brah.
I'm cool, man.
Yeah. Maybe just move a bit into the shot. Let's just quickly fix this shot real quick. Come on, guys. Come on in the middle, bro. Come on in the middle. Bang, busy, bro. How you doing, my guy?
I'm good.
Yeah, you good?
I'm good.
Away. Malibi Sailor. From where, Gazi?
I'm from Rehoboth.
Rehoboth.
Yeah.
Straight out of Rehoboth. Which block?
I've got another block.
Another block now.
Yeah.
Away. Let's talk about Empire now. How did you hear about Empire? Sorry, man. I've got Empower. The what's his name? The record label that Lioness was working with. The guy from Nigeria. Just forgot his name now. That one hit my mind. Empire. At what point did you find out about Empire, and how did you start working with them?
Also, I was there from the get-go.
Okay.
So, just like Elvo said, his partner is actually my mother. So they two started the thing. So I was actually one of the first artists.
Yeah.
That started like in the whole thing.
What type of music do you do?
I can pretty much do anything. I don't have any, but I
like you don't
just
limit yourself.
I don't limit myself. I don't want to limit myself, but I mainly do hip hop, rap. Yeah.
Okay. Now, check this out real quick. You were there since the beginning. You understand how important this is especially for that man. I'm sure also for also Arlene.
Yeah.
We'll get it in the shot now in a bit. Is there any pressure on you, bro? They say, hey, this thing is serious. I need to put in the effort.
It's a lot of pressure. Man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure, especially with all the artists.
Yeah.
And also from Rehoboth, we got a whole lot of artists that are like already big, known, and so. But yeah, the pressure is hard because this is actually my first time. Like, it was actually my first time recording on the mic with Elvo.
Okay.
So people just told me like, you have it, bruh, so you just have to like go on with it. So that's just, I'm trying to stick to it. And it's like it's still a learning process for me also, but it's a challenge, and I like challenges.
Yes, yeah. Now you gotta love challenges in our industry. You know, when that pressure comes, when that challenge comes, you need to use it to fuel you.
Yeah.
You need to use it to fuel you. You like, there's something that comes from inside, but you get aggressive. You're like, okay, you put me under pressure, I'm gonna show you that I'm a lion.
Yeah.
Since Empire Moss, you know what I mean? Like the American series. Anyways, Puta, do you already have a song out, like, or you still working on something? Or is that a roll-up plan?
Yeah, so we're currently working on an EP.
Oh, well.
I don't know, maybe late August.
Yeah.
I think we'll be done on that.
Mm.
Volgens album wise, not sure yet.
That's still a bit far, man. I think that's still a bit far. Yeah.
That's the long run plan.
Yeah.
But I already have some songs on YouTube. You know, the starting from Empire.
Mm.
I think it's 2 songs.
Yeah, 2 songs.
Yeah. Is it on the is the channel in your name or is it in Empire's name?
It's in Empire.
Empire Productions.
We
yeah?
are on YouTube,
Okay, we'll
TikTok,
check it out.
we are all social media.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Now, cool. As you're looking at the game right now, as you look at the artists that are out right now, right? When you eventually blow, who do you think will be your competition? When you eventually now get to that level and they say, okay, you've got a hit single that's on radio, you're getting booked to perform every weekend, you're doing interviews, you know, on TikTok, the ladies love you. Who do you think will be your competition? From the current crop now, but come on, start it's doing.
Yo. Like for me personally,
Yeah.
most of the artists that are in the industry right now,
Mm.
I only know like a few. Like the big names, obviously Jericho, because these artists come to our house and you know they come and do their work. But for me personally, it's just like in a neighborhood thing.
Mm.
So maybe if I blow up or something, it would be like in my own hometown.
Ah, well.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I think my competition is somewhere still in my hometown.
Okay.
Still, maybe just a dude like me
Mm.
that doesn't have like the how can I
That's
say?
hungry and that's ready
Yeah.
to.
You know, we have a lot of good rappers that side. I know personal few. I don't know if you know Explicit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
No,
that's-
I know a lot of cats
It's
from
the
there.
kind of dudes I was. It was analyzed a circle.
Yes, yeah.
So for me, it's only like saying because I don't know who's like in the big thing now.
Yeah.
But I think my competition will maybe
come from there.
out of now.
Ah, well. While he's here, he's one of the products. You guys are still working on him,
Yeah.
but there's another part of the company that's also commercial based. And you mentioned Kalux and Jericho.
Yeah.
That's dropping.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that, bro.
Yeah, so the other side of the company, what we are concentrating on, it started off with a series based called Past to Present.
Past to present.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I started a series called Past to Present. It's on the social media. It's there already on TikTok and all that, YouTube. This Past to Present is now what I did is I took all this, not all, most of the, let's say especially the hit songs that was really like so much was such hits, because some of the songs that have been produced in the early 2000s are still kind of like playing sometimes.
Of course.
And people doesn't sometimes, you know, yeah,
Music is timeless.
I come along and people appreciate those songs. So back then we didn't have social media, you know, and so what I did is I went back and I produced, or not really produced, I took the piano, I set it in front of me, and I'm playing those songs live as I'm making those series. So I'm sitting there and I'm telling these people, listen here, this is how we made those songs back then.
That's incredible, bro.
Yeah. So I'm playing those songs literally live for them. There's I did the Perfecto Tormentos. I played it live. Is there. You can check it out. There's I did Picky Picky by Gaza. I played it live. There's a couple of songs, Shake It for Girl Level. All these songs that were I'm playing it actually live for you now. Yeah.
Hey, Elvo, the content creator.
Yeah,
I was given as a content creator. That's what I'm talking about. Moving with the times, man.
Yeah.
See,
So that's why I call it past to present.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
So then, through that, I decided now, okay, let me now that I'm doing that, but I'm still going to continue with that. That series will still continue while I called now these big cats. Like Kalux is not one of them. I have Kalux, Jericho, the dog. I called some of them. So, some of these guys must still come to me. I'm still gonna be wanna be calling them. I wanna get them in. Kalux is the first that came in now, where Jericho was featuring with him on a song. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking now of what I did in the past. Now I'm giving them a song. You know, I'm producing a song for each and every one. And then all I want is I don't take rights from the songs. Even though I'm gonna produce it, I'm not gonna expect any rights from the songs. I'm giving these songs out. This is for my own. I'm doing this for myself. So what they do is they go out there. They just need to. We need to appreciate each other. So when they go on radio, talk about acknowledge. Let's appreciate each other. I want that to start happening. So that is also going to create and help other producers. When another artist work with you, that thing of let's appreciate each other. So that is what I'm trying to do there. So that is why I'm doing this.
I mean, if for me, Elvo, for me, I'm about the money, man. I'm about the money, Elvo, and I'm unashamedly about the money. I understand you giving back, and you're gonna produce the songs, right?
Just one song for each.
One song for each.
I won't say everything.
Okay, cool, great.
It's just that concept.
From me to you, and knowing this industry, I really want you to have a chat about the royalties, bro. Kostanji, just have a chat about royalties with the guys as they come in. That's all I can say for you, because this song tomorrow it blows up Master KG Jerusalem vibe. Then the song is worldwide.
Okay.
Kostanji. And then Kalux makes $100 million from one song every year. And then there's not even 1% that comes to your pocket from that song. So that's what I'm saying. Going forward, bro, just have a conversation about royalties. I'm say, give me, brah, the man say give me 1%. Of the song. I'm not debating with you right now. I'm just saying, so, but also Arlene Alice, with you guys as executive decision, they meant 1%. Because more Elvo, that song blows up. And it blows up like Tyler, water.
Okay.
It's $400 million.
I will not talk about this alone. Let me part come and sit and talk about
Okay. Speaking of which, let me bring her in. I know we don't have a microphone for you, real quick, but my production team is just looking at us like, Owens, just quickly squeeze in here. Just quickly squeeze in here. As I believe also Arlene. We will piggyback off his mic there real quick. First of all, thank you for helping our legend here create this incredible company that's going to take over the industry. But also, you hear what I'm saying, Mostochoba. You don't hear me when I'm, you know what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah.
But to make something, you must spend something. They normally say to make money, you must spend money.
Yeah.
In this case, no. Elvo will be listed as the producer of the song.
Okay. All
He
right.
will be acknowledged as the producer of the song. But in our country, unfortunately, the producer of the song cannot get royalties. Am I correct?
At the very moment, but speaking, I think we are speaking now about NESCAM here. So
we need to investigate that.
The NESCAM, at least this is what I'm saying. There is a misunderstanding on the rights to NESCAM. NESCAM is protecting authors, composers, arrangers, and the marketer. The marketing
probably the promoter one now.
The promoter guy. Those are the four people that NESCAM is protecting. Now there is a misunderstanding between artists and producers. Where do you fall in? Because there is no such thing as a producer there. So which means is, I'm talking about this now. Maybe also for another producer to pick up. You need to know whether you were the composer or whether you were because you can't be the author. You understand? So now we only sometimes we fall in the category of arranger, but then they don't understand what is arranger. You understand? You can't put yourself in a category you don't even know what it means. You understand? First understand what does composer mean and what does arranger mean before you just go write in your name there. You understand? But now the artists claim composing rights and they claim author rights. You understand? So the arranger, you can automatically not claim the marketing side.
Yeah.
Because the promoter is the guy who put the music out there.
Exactly,
So where do you fall now?
Yeah.
The arranger, now I understand that. That's what I understand. They understand, no, arranger is the guy. Arranger is not also a producer. Arranger is the guy who arranged the songs.
Yeah.
You understand? It's
Okay.
nothing. It's just it's not even half of what a producer does.
Yeah.
So but what does a producer do? A producer doesn't write songs, but he compose. Now there is a debate on that. You understand? Now we sometimes
Producer, composer.
yeah, that you see now that debate there. That's where that issue needs to be solved.
Okay.
Because now the others want, sometimes if you say no, I'm gonna claim the composer, then the others also want their 50% of composer because he believes no, but I was also singing because I made a melody.
Yeah.
Because when people hear composing is a melody, but then the producer say, but I also made a melody.
Yeah.
So you
Play the
see,
piano,
melody,
you found it, yeah.
there is everything is not 100% clear. So the producer somewhere lost somewhere in the line there.
Okay.
Because when NESCAM talks or when they market, the first people that comes out of their mouth is artist.
Yeah.
They only talk about artists. You will never. It's very
rare.
rare.
You
You will
hear
hear
the other branches of
NESCAM when they talk about meetings. You say, okay, the producers. It's very rare. You will hear that.
Okay.
So they mostly, if you ask them, who do you protect? That's the first people they say. We protect the artist.
Okay.
That's what they say. So yeah,
So,
it comes to.
world, Africa, Namibia, look at these faces right now. Look at them. This is Empire Productions. These are the guys that are going to take over the industry. Remember this episode. You look at these guys right now, you look at Mali B and you think, kick my related. Hey. You look at Osi Arlie and you're like, what will she do? Okay. And you look at Elvo, you're like, flop story. I'm excited. I'm excited. And I wish you guys all the best. I really, really do. I want to see where this goes. I'm old school. I come from the time where music productions was like a thing. Like when we used to like align ourselves to the music productions. No egg is a Richard production egg. No, I'm a GMP production. No, I'm a what is it? Greenhouse? What is it? Sunny Boys? I come from that era, so I always get excited when I hear of a new record label or new publishing company. So I wish you guys all the best with Empire Productions. I'm looking forward to the music, Omes. Do you understand? I'm looking forward to the business behind the scenes. You know, those gevaarlijke moves. You know, and then Elvo, Omes, it's good to have you back. It's good to see you.
Man.
You look fantastic, Buddha. You know what I mean? I understand you. And you are literally furniture here at Industry Loop. Like, this is your third time, Gazi. You know what I mean?
It's the third time.
You know, so thank you so much. It's good to see that from where you started, when you came on the podcast, with the reality to where you are. I think it's a beautiful reality. Of course, we're not perfect. You are going to have moments where you fall a little bit.
Yeah.
But no one is perfect, to understand. But you pick yourself up and you keep on moving. And you are honest about it.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Empire Production.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank you.
Let's leave it at that. That's the episode for this week. Remember, if you have opinion of it, drop your comments or use the hashtag Industry Loop to debate. Maybe there's something that Elvo said. Maybe there's something that the rest of the guys said on the podcast, and you want to start a debate. I love a good debate. Let's debate. Let's fight it out. Just in peace and musically, as I believe, without any violence. Until the next one, keep watching.
Undermine me as a mistake. I lay it down for your pride as a one take. I wake up, bake in my circle of your face. This is a album made, not a minute made. Ek gee dit vir jou fresh, dis die hele taste. Noem dit 'n higher grade. Hou net vas bro, goeie dinge kom met tyd. Bless with the best now. Hoekom sal ek wait kyk?
Julle weet nie julle weet nie